Boston Celtics get another impressive win. Jordan Walsh, the best basketball I've ever seen him play. Jaylen Brown, the most mature basketball I've ever seen him play. Let's talk about it right now on the Locked On Celtics podcast.
Yup. Town, be ever ready. It's the C's. Who else could it be? What they gon' say now? Screaming like JT. Karalis, recap the madness every game, every practice. Prime time, Depp and D White on the sideline. Raining J's, how it started, raising banners, how we finished. Locked on Celtics pod, home of the winners.
Hey, welcome back to the Locked On Celtics podcast, right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. Your team is the Boston Celtics, and I talk about them Monday through Friday. I'll have a bonus podcast every time they play on a Friday or Saturday night. Friday night against the Lakers, so bonus podcast there. 6 days of podcasting this week. It's free. It's available everywhere. It's on YouTube. So hop in the comment section and share your thoughts. If you're new to the show, I am John Karalis, beat writer for Boston Sports Journal. I have been covering this team for about 20 years now. I've been doing this podcast for 10, and I've written a couple of books about the team. Today's show is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. You want to get tickets to watch the Boston Celtics right now because they are looking good. They win. They beat the New York Knicks 123-117. It's never easy against the Knicks, but the Celtics closed it out. They are growing right before our eyes. Later on, Jaylen Brown will get to the individual performances. Jordan Walsh, Hugo Gonzalez, Josh Minott, just the best I've seen Jordan Walsh play. It's just incredible. But let's just start right off the top. Impressive, most impressive. This Celtics team is playing well enough to beat these good teams. They have now beaten the Knicks. They've beaten the Cavs. They've beaten the Pistons, the Magic. They were very close. They had a chance to beat the Minnesota Timberwolves as well. All of a sudden, the Celtics are 12-9. This was a stretch. I think I had good reason to be worried about this stretch. They had just lost to the Brooklyn Nets. They had a couple of tough late games against the Sixers or Orlando. The Clippers. They things have gotten dicey. And I was like, look, Orlando, Detroit, Minnesota, Cleveland, New York, Lakers with a Wizards game mixed in. I was like, okay, I'll give them the Wizards game, maybe the Orlando game. Can they sneak one of these other games? Can they get one? Maybe two. So what's that? 2, 3 wins, maybe 4. Well, they've already gotten 4. They've beaten Orlando, Detroit, Cleveland, and now the Knicks. So they've gotten their 4 wins. Can they beat? Obviously, I think they should beat the Wizards. But as I said yesterday, I wouldn't be surprised if this is the game that they lose. And then you play the Lakers. If you can beat the Lakers, this is just an incredible stretch regardless. But if you could do that, that would be, talk about message being sent. So the Celtics are putting things together. This is a very high quality win, a true team win where they get performances from everybody. So here's how the game went if you didn't see it. Beginning of the game was gross. Jaylen Brown was terrible. The Celtics fell behind by as many as 14. It didn't look good. I think it was a 17-4 run to start the game for the Knicks. And I was like, ugh, okay. I'm sitting there like, if it's going to happen like this, then just be the blowout. If you're going to lose, just be blown out. Let's all just get the hell out of here. Let's not think about it too much. Let's just go. And it looked like the way Jaylen was playing, like, okay, something's up here. Maybe he just wants it too much against the Knicks. Remember the first game of the season, he talked about facing the Knicks, and he wasn't great. It was probably his worst performance. I think he scored well in that game, but he just wasn't his best. So I thought, okay, maybe the story of this game would be Jaylen Brown wants to beat the Knicks too badly. And that was going to be, I thought at least in the first quarter, that might have been where this game was heading and where the kind of the narrative was heading. He had 3 turnovers. He had 2 fouls. He was missing. It was bad. It was gross. But the Celtics kept hanging around, right? They didn't let it get out of hand. They were just answering. They're doing just enough. Second quarter, Hugo Gonzalez gets in the game. Celtics start to turn things around. They go small against Karl-Anthony Towns, and Hugo Gonzalez is the catalyst there. But he's not the only one. Derrick got a chance. Baylor Sherman got a chance. You know, the Celtics went with a different look there. They even threw in some Haka Mitchell Robinson. So that was that was a fun little moment there at the end of the first quarter. But in the second quarter, they went small. They were effective. Jaylen Brown starts to all of a sudden catch fire, 18 points in the second quarter. He had 33 points in the middle two quarters without a single turnover. So just an incredible bounce back there. Then at the end of the third quarter, just unleashing hellfire. 12-0 run to end the quarter, bunch of three-pointers, and it was like, whoa, 18-point lead. Maybe I was right about the blow up, but wrong about the team that's getting blown out. And of course, the Celtics can't get away from the Knicks. They never can anymore. Last regular season, it was easy, but now all of a sudden they can't. And we're kind of like joking around, like, can you imagine if this was another 20-point lead or 18-point lead that the Celtics blow in the fourth quarter? And they almost did. Got down to 3. But this time it was Jordan Walsh. It got down to 3. Joe Mazzulla calls a timeout, 6.5 minutes to go. And then it's the Jordan Walsh show. He gets the ball. So the Knicks are blitzing Jaylen Brown. Jaylen gets the ball over to Jordan, and Jordan starts making plays, starts swinging the ball. It ends up with Josh Minott. He hits a corner 3. Jordan crashes the boards, gets an offensive rebound, putback, drives, gets a tough finish, gets a steal on the other end, forces a jump ball. He did everything at the end of that fourth quarter, and it was just incredible. The way they frustrated Karl-Anthony Towns, and it's you look at the box score, and it's like 12 of 19, 29 points for Towns, 7 rebounds, a couple of assists. He had 4 turnovers, but you look at that and you say, wow, what an incredible game from Karl-Anthony Towns. He did his job. Yeah, he's going to score, but them going small against him he couldn't carry them. It felt like some empty calories. I think he got some shots early, but the way they were defending him, I didn't see, like, watching the game. If you didn't show me a box score, I wouldn't have thought that Karl-Anthony Towns scored 20. I would have thought he scored like 14, 15, 16 points, maybe 12 of 19. The numbers in the box score do not tell the story of what the Celtics did to Karl Towns, because that was, I thought, incredible defense. They frustrated him. They got him to turn the ball over. There were times where he had Derrick White. He had, who else was it? He had, obviously had Jordan Walsh. A bunch of smaller guards. And it's like the Celtics wanted him to post up, and he kind of refused a lot of the times. And then they would throw double teams at him. They'd get the ball out of his hands. Again, the 29 points from him, I don't think he hurt the Celtics at all in this game. Maybe I'll think differently when I rewatch it, but the Celtics, I thought, a great job. Going small was super, super effective with him. Jalen Brunson, a rough game. Again, Jordan Walsh doing the defensive work a lot of the time on Brunson. The length bothers smaller guards like that, and that's what he's there for. That's Jalen said it a week or two ago. The guys with his length, with Jordan's length, Josh's length, they're going to bother the smaller guards. And Brunson had a stinker of a game. 6 of 21, 1 of 8 from 3. He did have 11 assists, but 15 points. So defensively, I thought the Celtics did a fantastic job. The real turning point in this game, 2 turning points. Gonzalez coming in and Jordan doing his thing in the fourth quarter. Let's get to that. Let's get to the role players, the unsung guys. We'll do that when I come back. Today's show is brought to you by Game Time. The World Cup is coming back to North America for the first time since 1994, and with 48 teams for the first time ever, it's going to be massive. But let's be honest, getting tickets is usually the hardest part. That's why Game Time is clutch. It's finally giving fans a real advantage when it comes to snagging seats. With Game Time, you can track price drops in real time, get alerts when great seats open, and buy tickets the moment they hit the app. It puts the power back in your hands and makes going to the World Cup realistic instead of impossible. You pull up the app. The layout makes it so simple to scroll through matchups and compare seat views. I've used the app. Very easy to understand what you're going to see, so you know. I'm sure World Cup, you're going to want to just get in the door, but you can see what you're going to expect there. The seat view feature, that is a game changer, but the prices also include fees up front. So this is when you see a price, that's where you're going to pay. So there's no last second surprises at checkout, and there are alerts for teams and matches, make it easy to grab tickets the moment they drop instead of missing out. So take the guesswork out of buying World Cup tickets in every match, concert, or event with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNBA. You'll get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, download the app, make an account, use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Game Time. Thank you for making the Locked On Celtics podcast the number one Boston Celtics podcast in the world. It is on the number one sports podcast network in the world. You have made both of these things possible by being everydayers, joining me Monday through Friday and all the other great shows. Check out Locked On Knicks and their reaction. Check out Locked On NBA Game Night. I typically host on Wednesdays. I had to switch out because the Celtics played, so I did the Tuesday show. But check all of that out, Locked On NBA. So many great shows on the network. So thank you for making this show number one and the podcast, Locked On Podcast Network, number one. If you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? The stars of this game, aside from Jaylen, had 42 points, so we'll get to him. But I'm getting to him last. And you can say we're saving the best for last, but this game changed in two parts. Number one, in the second quarter, I think everything flipped when Hugo Gonzalez came in. And it's incredible that a 19-year-old is doing this. And he goes from DNPs to stepping in. He is absolutely mature. I see him. The only thing that kind of tells on him in terms of being 19 is that he looks young, but even because of his maturity and the way he approaches things, you would think he's in his mid-20s. At the very least, he seems like a very mature, and that's part of the development in Spain, Real Madrid, all of that stuff. He's just been in these situations for so long. He's not intimidated. He's not intimidated by playing the Knicks. He's not intimidated in an environment where it's loud and there's a lot of people. He's seen it. He's done it. The crowds in Europe are crazier, much crazier than the craziest NBA crowd you're going to find. So he comes in. The defense was unbelievable. Just the instincts to defend from him are, if he's doing this at 19, wait till he learns things. So Hugo plays 22 and a half minutes, doesn't do much offensively, but gets the 5 rebounds and just one steal. But the way he defended, the way he held his own and gets underneath Karl-Anthony Towns and just holds his position, kind of knows where to be, isn't bothered by who he's guarding. Go guard, Jalen Brunson. Go guard Karl-Anthony Towns. Go guard Mikal Bridges. He's fine with doing all of that. So he comes in the second quarter with the Celtics down 14, and next thing you know, starts chipping away. Brunson is sitting, and the Knicks aren't able to score very much at all. In the second quarter, the Celtics won that 37-20. So they lose the first quarter 32-21. They win the second one 37-20. Turnaround is fair play. And this turnabout is fair play, isn't it? Anyway. So Hugo comes in, completely changes the dynamic of the game, flips it so the Celtics go up 7 at halftime, and then they go off and take that big lead. Now, in the fourth quarter, it flips again after that timeout that I mentioned before. Now Jordan Walsh comes in, And this is, I'll get to it more with Jaylen, but kudos to Jaylen for making the right read, making the right play. This stretch, 6 minutes of Jordan Walsh is the best, absolute best basketball I've ever seen him play. And it's not even close. Like he almost unrecognizable the way he was playing. He played 6 minutes and 15 seconds in that stretch, 6 points on perfect 3 of 3 shooting, 4 rebounds, 3 of them offensive, an assist, a steal, and then so many other hustle plays that don't even show up on the box score. I'm going to continue my analogy from earlier this season and over the summer league. He was scoring in summer league, but I just didn't like the way he looked. I didn't like the way he played. And then the preseason, same thing. And if you haven't heard me make the analogy, what I'd said was like, okay, I'm not out on Jordan Walsh, but if I'm at the party, I'm starting to look for my keys, right? It's like 11 o'clock and I'm just looking to see how, how my wife is doing. Like, you good? How are you feeling? A little tired. Okay. Let's just kind of see how it goes, but I might be ready to leave soon. That was my feeling on Jordan. And I said, look, if the DJ plays a good song or if things start to heat up, I'll stick around. But I was this close to leaving the Jordan Walsh party. This performance, this fourth quarter, isn't just the DJ playing a banger. This is the DJ playing all your favorite songs in a perfect mix, all in a row. 11 o'clock, tired, looking for your keys? No, now it's 1 a.m. and you're just going shot, 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 shot. I am in it. I am back, baby. I am in on the Jordan Walsh party. He has completely won me over. This is the absolute peak Jordan Walsh that he's played. Now he's a young guy, obviously. Even after the game, he talked about it. He's like, I was a mess my rookie year. I had to learn how to slow down. I had to learn how to play under control. And that's all the stuff that I'd been saying about him for so long. He's playing too fast. He's just playing out of control. Now he seems to finally get it. And that's great. That's great. And because he's so young, so I didn't leave the Jordan Walsh party. But when you don't get something after a long time, I was like, I don't know if he's ever going to, right? Like, or maybe not in Boston. And now here he is. I don't know if it was Josh Minott coming in, being kind of like, Tom said it, a month ago. Josh Minott is everything the Celtics hoped Jordan Walsh would be. And it's like, as soon as he said it, I don't know if somebody in Jordan Walsh's camps heard that and said, it's like, oh yeah, no, this is everything you're supposed to be. Because instantly he's like, oh, okay, I get it. And it flipped. Like, I honestly thought there was a chance he could get cut after training camp. Not like likely, but it wasn't out of the question. If they had cut him, he'd be like, oh man, that sucks. But no one would have been like, oh, what are you doing? Maybe, there are certain people that are fans of his, but now I'm like, absolutely in on Jordan Walsh. Keep him around. He can be a part of this team. He can be a part of the future of this team. Now you've got yourself with him and with Josh. Josh made some great plays in this one as well. And in that stretch hit, a couple of 3-pointers. Walsh is the type of do the dirty work kind of player that you need on a team like this. So offensive rebound, defense, all of that stuff. I can't say enough. I cannot say enough about what Jordan Walsh has become in such a short amount of time. Maybe it was Jaylen having his back and saying, I believe in you. Maybe it's just something every once in a while with some players, something kind of clicks right away, and they go, "Oh, I get it now," and you figure it out, and you make a leap like that. Whatever it is, good for him. Good for him for having it happen. And like I said, this 6 minutes to close out the Knicks was the most impressive thing that I've seen out of him in a long time. Now, Jaylen Brown kind of made that possible, not just by saying, "Hey, I believe in you," but by giving him the ball. We'll talk about Jaylen Brown's maturity, the most mature basketball we've seen from Jaylen Brown, when I come back. Today's show is brought to you by Robinhood. What if sports were traded like markets? Now you can put your sports IQ to work in real time with Robinhood prediction markets. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. You can buy or sell your positions live all game long. Use your sports knowledge in the moments that matter. Robinhood prediction markets changes the game. It's people moving the action. So when momentum shifts, you can move with it. I always knew the game, but never had a dynamic way to apply that knowledge. Now I can actually take part live in a market powered by people. You're no longer just the spectator. Play by play, you decide. Trade every play with Robinhood, now available across the U.S. Download the Robinhood app now to begin. Thanks for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. Check out Locked On Fantasy Basketball. It's the number one fantasy basketball podcast on the number one sports podcasting network. Josh Lloyd is going to help you win your league. It's that simple. Well, who do you keep? Who do you trade? Who do you start? Who do you bench? He has it all. Multiple shows dropping all the time. That dude is a machine. You got to check him out if you're playing fantasy basketball. Let's get to Jaylen Brown, who had 42 points in this game after 4 in the first quarter. I cannot stress, I said it before, I'll say it again, how bad he was in the first quarter. And he said it after the game. It's like, I was playing too fast. I had to tell myself to calm down. And I do think that the Knicks, playing the Knicks and having that taste of, that closeout game in New York where Jaylen just didn't play great at all. He played terribly. But that was, the meniscus tear was bothering him. Some other things were holding him back. So I'm sure he's had that bad taste in his mouth for a long time. And every time he's going to face the Knicks, he's probably sitting there like, okay, it's time for me to do my thing. So he had a bad first quarter. Second quarter, third quarter, 33 combined points in the second and third quarter. And 0 turnovers. After 3 in the first quarter, he had 0 after that, and he had 1 in the fourth quarter, which was a rough one, but at least he threw it out of bounds. If you're gonna have a turnover, even if it's an ugly one, at least throw it out of bounds. So you're not giving them a layup. You have to force them to take it out and go against a set defense. That's at least tolerable. Not acceptable, but tolerable. But what he did in the middle quarters was great. What he did in the fourth quarter, he didn't even score until free throws at the end, but all of a sudden the Knicks start blitzing him. And he's like, I wasn't even sure if that was what they were doing. And they just kind of accepted it and drew it out. I was like, oh, okay. And I asked him about it after the game. And put it bluntly, you have earned the right to kind of make the call there. You try to beat the double team and do the job yourself, or you pass the ball. You've chosen to pass the ball. You did it against Cleveland with Peyton Pritchard closing out the game, and I thought that was a really great move. I loved that he did that. And now this time being doubled again and give it up to Jordan Walsh, and Jordan making plays because Jaylen said, I trust my teammates, and you guys can make the plays. And so if you want to put 2 on me, that's fine. My teammates will play 4 on 3, and we're going to close out this game. How many times have I said the fourth quarter is about making buckets? You just got to find a way to make buckets. And that's what the Celtics did, because Jaylen drew 2 and even if the shot didn't fall, because the Knicks were out of position, in rotation, it just opens up these lanes for Jordan to crashing from the corner, grabbing the rebound, tipping the rebound, creating another possession. Even if it's an empty possession, that extra 14, 15, 16 seconds off the clock is meaningful when you're holding on to a double-digit lead. That was just, I think, mature basketball. Very mature basketball from Jaylen Brown. And he said after the game, I'm learning. Every game I'm learning. And this is what's the most impressive thing from him. He's learning how to be the number one guy without any real consistent help, without, like I said before, Jayson Tatum has always had Jaylen Brown by his side. Jaylen Brown doesn't have an equivalent of Jaylen Brown by his side. Derrick White, Peyton Pritchard, really good players. I think highly of both of them, but they're not Jaylen Brown. So Jaylen's learning how to do a lot of this himself. And trust is huge. Trust, not only is it the right play, what it does for a guy like Jordan is incredible, because he's 21-year-old, 22, and to have Jaylen have your back, go to the coach, go to bat for you. And in the fourth quarter, halfway through the fourth quarter, a lead has dwindled. It's a 3-point game. Celtics just called a timeout. We're coming out of the timeout. It's a 3-point game. They have all the momentum. And Jaylen says, here you go, Jordan. Make a play. That's hell yeah. Hell yeah. As a basketball player, somebody gives me the ball in that spot, you better be ready for it. But that was a great call and great confidence. I think Jaylen has grown so much and is understanding the game in a different way. It's incredible. Like I said, I think that obviously Jaylen has been playing his best basketball, but it's even beyond anything that I would have expected, because the level of maturity and just the continued learning and growing, it's good. It's incredible. It's good. That's amazing. I just sit here and gush the whole time. But look, Celtics get this win. It's a great win. They're 12-9 now. They have the potential, you should beat the Washington Wizards. The Wizards just beat the Bucks. So I think the Celtics should also, like Jaylen shouldn't play against the Wizards. Take a break. Take a day off. Go, just stay home. Let Anthony Simons cook. Who, by the way, Simons did a good job. Like I said, Minott did a good job, just to go with the other guys. Cato was decent in this game. Pritchard didn't shoot well. Derrick White, by the way, some big moments, 22 points, 5 assists. He was good. Sam Hauser hit a couple of big threes. And one at the end there. So, he made a contribution. Just all around team win. So I'd like to see most of that team play against the Wizards, but not Jaylen. Just give him a day. He's been doing so much. Let him be ready for the Lakers. That's on Prime on Friday. So yeah, man, this is great. This is a lot of fun. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up there. Thank you everybody for listening, for watching the show. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll kind of revisit this. I'll go through it again. I'll go through the game tape and just pick up some other things. We'll just dive more into it. So make sure you're subscribed wherever you get your podcast. Watch the show on YouTube. Get into the comment section. I would love it if you share the podcast. Tell everybody they should be listening to and watching the Locked On Celtics podcast here on the Locked On Podcast Network. It's your team every day.